On March 9, 2015, an Amtrak northbound Carolina passenger train was going to New York City from Charlotte, North Carolina, with Amtrak GE P42DC 185 in the lead. The train had 213 passengers and 8 crew members on board. Meanwhile, the truck, an oversized loading truck carrying a power distribution center to New Jersey. The weight was 255,000 pounds, equals of 127.5 short tons and 113.8 long tons. The truck driver, 43-year-old John Devin Black, the truck was being escorted by officers of the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. But the truck driver was having trouble trying to make a turn and spent 8 minutes backing up and moving forward, realigning to attempt to complete the turn at the correct angle. But the truck driver didn't realize that there would be trouble. As the Amtrak train was coming to the crossing, the truck driver realized that he could not clear the tracks in time, so he bailed off his vehicle to run far away, and the engineer on board the Amtrak train tried to hit the brakes to avoid a collision, but however, it was too close and too late to stop in time.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. He hurt? Oh, my God, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh.
Halifax County 911.
You've just had a bad wreck at the train tracks. A train derailed and it hit an 18-wheeler. And I don't know if the officer, yes ma'am. I don't know if the officer, say again?
You said a train derailed and hit a truck?
It hit an 18-wheeler, yes ma'am. We were sitting right there when it happened. And there was an officer standing there. And I don't know if anybody's hurt. I'm guessing they are because it hit pretty hard.
Okay, yes, where are you at?
It's at the intersection of, I think it's 561 and 301. It's that main intersection right up from the sheriff's office. 561 and 301? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you actually at 301 and 125?
I was when the accident happened, yes ma'am.
Okay, alright. We'll let them know, okay? And what is your name? Okay, thank you very much, okay?
Yes ma'am.
Bye-bye.
The Amtrak passenger train collided with the truck at 12:19 p.m. The locomotive was turned on its side by the force of the accident, and one end of the baggage car was pushed into the bushing area next to the railroad right-of-way. Thankfully, nobody was killed in this crash, but 55 people were injured. The engineer was among the injured, and the truck driver was not injured. A witness told a 911 operator that she did not hear the train horn, but the crossing lights were working at the site of the accident. But people are wondering, how can this accident happen like this? Was it 100% preventable? Or what's the issue? Shortly after the accident, the North Carolina Department of Transportation reports that US 301, North Carolina 903, and North Carolina 125 were closed in all directions for an emergency response, the cleanup, and the investigation. 170 of the remaining uninjured passengers were transported by buses to Richmond, Virginia to be placed on another train. The day after the derailment, audio stated that no charges were filed against Black in reacting of this accident. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSD, dispatched to the accident site and are investigating. The North Carolina Department of Transportation releasing a statement on March 9, 2015, that the department will assist Amtrak with the investigation of the accident. The FRA stated that the review on the onboard event recorders, interviewing the train crew, the truck driver, and the North Carolina patrol trooper that was directing the truck. Investigators were also determined to discover that if Pullman cargo from oversized load was began in front before the accident, as the Poya called from trooper escorting the vehicle to clear their route, informed the railroad dispatchers what they're doing, the accident may have been prevented. So in May 2015, Amtrak and CSX, who owned the line, filed a civil lawsuit against Turner Transform Company, also known as Guy M. Turner Corporation, who operates the oversized load. The railroad companies alleged that the trucking company and driver John Black caused the accident by negligently by hauling a oversized load across the marked railroad crossing in an unsafe manner. Both railroad companies were received in amounts of $75,000. In the end, Amtrak 185 was repaired and put back into service, and continues to be in service on this day still. 5 years have now passed since this crash, but sadly, more cars and trucks will get hit by trains on this day still. But hopefully, an accident like this is never repeated.